Hi there everyone, this is Untouched ASMR. Today we are going to be doing something super personal and I'm going to be reading some diary entries of mine that are old in the sense of, I hope I put dates on these, probably, 2022, so 2 years ago. My best friend got this for me as a gift and I pretty much did one entry a day, and this is going to tell you a lot about me. There's probably some secrets and juicy things in here. So let's see, I have not read through this since the last time I wrote in it. So let's see. Basically what they are prompts. So like they have a little bit of a prompt right here, and then you write about that certain whatever the prompt asks you about. It's not just like lines and I just like writing about my day or whatever. So let's skip to a random page. Okay, this is cute. A question for you: what makes your heart sing? This was on February 20th, 2023. Okay. It reads, I feel this question is super broad, but let me try to think of some specifics. Listening to Morgan Wallen on a hot, breezy day, going out to the bar with my friends and boyfriend, seeing Prince when I get home every day, eating a Shack burger and a milkshake, chocolate, talking about plans for Florida, having a great bartending shift, meeting a new person and having meaningful conversation, having a clean house and workspace, peeing when you have to go really bad, getting cozy under a fluffy comforter when I'm cold, the smell of springtime, just to name a few. And then I think here I did affirmations or like manifestations of some sort, because I said, I am so happy and grateful that I made over $1,000 this week and paid off all my credit cards by my birthday. I am so happy and grateful that I finished school during February. I am a successful woman making millions of dollars. I'm so grateful that everything works out for me. Interesting. Let's flip to another random spot. Okay. This was January 12th, 2022. The future you. Think about future you. Pick a point in the future, say in 10 years' time, and describe yourself, paying attention to ways in which you have stayed the same or changed in character, activities, or environment. Okay, ready? Wow, I have so many things to say. In 10 years' time, I want to have been married to Harry for quite some time and have children. At that point, I'd have 2 dogs in our own self-built barn dominium. We would have a place in Florida, a place near family, and our own place, and another place in Tennessee or the Carolinas. Harry will be madly successful and be able to take care of both of us. I will be flipping houses in the meantime. Mentally and emotionally, I will be the strongest and best version of myself that I have yet to see. I will still thoroughly enjoy spending time with family and friends, eating new foods and sipping new drinks. I will be self-sufficient and utterly happy with my world. And then I wrote some manifestations on the side. It says, I am so happy and grateful that I finished school before or during February and that I paid off all my credit cards by my birthday. I am so happy that I started feeling better when I wake up in the morning instead of feeling sick. I am so lucky that everything works out for me. Okay, let's do this one. This is from January 7th, 2022. Your best self. Consider when you have been at your best. What was happening? What were you doing? Who were you with, if anyone? How did it feel to be your best self? Is your best self accessible to you at any time? How? Loaded question. Loaded like 6 questions. And I said, 2 years ago, to be honest, over 2 years ago, I cannot recall when I was my best self. If I had to say a specific time, I would say right now in this moment. Before I say anything, at this time I feel like I was not at all my best self, which is crazy that I felt that way then, because like 3 years ago, it's almost in like 2 months, it'll be 3 years since I wrote this. Interesting. I said, the past 5 days specifically, because I am doing 75 hard and Harry is doing it with me. Honestly, I am exhausted and running around like crazy, but to complete everything I need to do in the day with no excuses is extremely rewarding. I have definitely found more appreciation for myself and love my determination to finish the challenge. I believe that at the end of these 75 days, I will be the best version of myself that I have yet to see, and I hope I will carry some of the habits I have / will gained into a more whole, balanced life. My best self is definitely accessible to me at any time. I just need to do the work and have the self-discipline to ensure that I am her. Like I said, that's so interesting because that was not my best self. I did finish 75 hard, and it was one of the most rewarding experiences that I've had. However, after I was finished it, I kind of reverted back to my old self, and I was drinking a lot. I got back into nicotine because I was addicted to nicotine at a point when I was going through my breakup, and I was not my best self at all. I'm not saying that I'm my best self right now either, but I have grown so much, and at this point, I was in a really, really, really bad state of depression, and that's kind of what prompted Harry and I to do 75 hard. I was having a really hard time. I was, drinking all the time, and I was really unhappy and doing things that were harming myself, in many ways. So, Harry was kind of like, you can't do this. Like, we have to get you out of this, and let's do this challenge together. And it was great. I felt like I learned so much about what I can achieve, but I eventually did revert back to it because I just wasn't ready. Like, yeah, I did the challenge, but like my headspace wasn't on actually changing. It was kind of just like getting through whatever I was getting through. So let's see what else is in here. This one is an interesting one. This is from February 13th, 2023, so about a year later. It says, describe a recent conversation with a person you don't really like or find difficult to deal with. How did it go? And what did you do well or not so well? I said, honestly, talking to my mom can be really hard. I feel as though she doesn't think I'm enough. Anytime I'm doing something good for myself, she always has something negative to say. She always finds something to critique me on. Whether it's that I shouldn't go out looking the way I am, that I'm doing the laundry wrong, or spending too much time at the gym. When I wake up in the morning, I'll get texts from her telling me what things I need to do better. So a lot of conversations with her aren't that enjoyable. I've learned it's easiest to not speak up and hold it in. Anything I say that is not what she agrees with immediately goes in one ear and out the other, and she will not listen to my point of view. That's also interesting. I was so close with my mom growing up, and then during my teenage years, I started like going out of my comfort zone and exploring life, and she was strict, and in her eyes I was rebelling, and we just never saw eye to eye, literally until my ex-boyfriend and I broke up. And this was like a year and a half ago that I wrote that, but at the beginning of this year, something just changed and our relationship got a lot better. Yes, there's still like parts of her that do that, but I now like really do enjoy spending time with her, and we have a good time together, and she doesn't make me feel badly, and if she does, I speak up about it. But I was in such a bad place at the time that I wrote this, and I am not in that place any longer, thankfully. And I can just see how different things are back then. We have like a good relationship now, and I don't feel this way anymore. I did feel this way, but not so much anymore. Let's see what else. This is February 22nd, 2023. It says, your learning style. How do you absorb information best? By listening, engaging, or looking? How has that played out for you in life, from your school days to the present? I said, I already know that my main learning type is visual. Sure, I can hear something, but I won't remember it or understand it as well if I don't have a visual representation of it. I can study information and remember the topic by visualizing the page. I don't feel like I genuinely understand what people say, so I'm always using closed captions. Along with visual learning, performing an activity helps me learn. Usually in life, I don't learn something as well when people tell me about it. I need to make the mistake or do the activity myself to fully enforce the idea. And then at each of these pages, I made like a little break mark, and then I did my manifestations, which are the same on every page. But I completely agree with everything that was in that entry. I am such a visual learner. And then like once I do something right the first time by like actually practicing it and doing it, I'm usually good to go and can do the thing. But if someone's giving me like oral directions on how to do something, that's the hardest for me to learn from. And I do have like a really good visual memory. If I see like a scene and then I like close my eyes or turn away, or if I'm not at that scene anymore and I need to remember something about that scene, if I see it in my head, I can remember. And yeah, like I can remember, like when I used to study, it would help me to remember the information because I could see exactly what the page, I could like identify and remember what the page looked like and what topics were on the page and stuff like that. And I still use closed captions on like everything because I fear that I cannot hear anything. So yeah, that's that. Okay, test your willpower. This is from March 4th, 2023. It says, how strong-willed are you? Think about a time when you've made a commitment and stuck to it, or perhaps you didn't. What did you learn about your willpower and resolve? And what would you do differently next time? I said, I'm moderately strong-willed depending on my motivation levels. For example, when I tried quitting nicotine, I knew how bad I wanted it, so I wasn't necessarily strict with it. If it's a challenge or something obligatory or just something I really want, then I'm seriously strong-willed, like I am with 75 Hard. When it's a task I can complete / check off, aka a plan, I find it easier to comply. When it's purely based on mindset, it is definitely much harder. Going forward, if I set a goal, I think I need to write out a distinct plan with tangible, clear outlines. Otherwise, it would be hard for me to stick with the actions I need to achieve said goals. This is true about me. if I have my eye on something that I want, whether it be abstract or a tangible thing, I will do everything in the world to get that thing. However, I struggle when I'm just leaving my success up to willpower. And if any of you have read Atomic Habits, it is one of the best books out there, like, to change your life. And it was either that one or another book that I have that talked about how willpower isn't enough to, like, achieve something. You have to have, like, a plan and like tangible things that you can do to get there, because willpower simply isn't enough for 99% of us on this planet. So I'm, like, really good at following direction, but the thing is, I want to be my own leader and my own boss, like, in my life. You know how I've talked about wanting to do this full time. Like, this is something that's something that I want to do, is make my own rules. But whoever makes them, I think that I do best when I have set characteristics or set qualifications or things that I need to follow. So even being my own boss, I could say to myself, I have to record 2 videos a day, or I have to record, 3 videos every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Something like that. And obviously elaborate more on them, and obviously more intricate than that. But having that, I'm really good at sticking to, like, a distinct rule that will help me to achieve something or to stay away from something or whatever it is. So I do have to say that distinct plans, tangible, clear outlines, those are things that really help me. So that is true. This is interesting. This is from March 6th, 2023. It's titled Looking Back. If you could travel back in your life, what single thing would you change? I said, if I could travel back in my life, I'd change my mindset. I don't regret / wouldn't want to take back any actions that have been done, and they make me who I am, and I like who I am. I would alter things I would think about certain people, including myself. How I went about life, just my overall mindset especially. Especially with Ethan, who was my ex-boyfriend. The naivety with him and not realizing / understanding I was being abused. If I had, would I have done something? I'm unsure. That's interesting. If I answered this prompt today, would I have said the same thing? Probably. Honestly, I would probably say something along those lines. I wouldn't change any of the experiences that I had or memories that I have. I think I would love myself more. And I think really that would be a crazy difference. Yeah. And then this one says slippery and sticky beliefs. We think our beliefs are steadfast, but sometimes they are not. Can you think of an important belief you once held that has changed over time? Write about it. Conversely, what do you believe that you will always believe? Make it a big, bold statement. This is from March 7th, 2023. And then it says, I used to believe, and then I put a bunch of bullet notes, and then I will always believe, and then a bunch of bullet points. So the things I said were, I used to believe life was better restricted and the purpose of life was to live in my hometown. I used to believe Ethan was superior and always right. I was completely wrong. I used to believe Harry and I weren't meant for each other. Again, 100% wrong. I used to believe Florida wasn't for me, but I learned I just hated how I lived there and who I lived with. I will always believe in being an honest person. I will always believe in doing the right thing. I will always believe in providing for my friends and family. And I will always believe in not needing a college degree to make it in the world. That's what I wrote. And I will always believe that. You don't need a college degree to make it in the world, and I'm going to be proof of that. And a lot of other people out there are already proof of that, but I am proving it to myself, and to my family, and to society that, well, one, yes, I do have a college degree, but I don't plan on using it, and I didn't want to go to college. I had no desire to, but I felt like my family kind of put me in a situation where I had to, and I have no desire to want to do anything with it. And I just finished off paying all my student loans, which is amazing, but I'm going to prove that I'm not going to use my business degree to get myself a job or to provide myself with money. That I'm going to do that all on my own through this YouTube channel. As much as it annoys me that I had to spend $40,000 of my own money to pay off my student loans, it's in the past, it's gone, there's nothing I could do about it. That's in the past, there's no reason to sit and think about it, but yeah, I'm still gonna prove it. Now, I didn't finish writing in here. Let's see what my last entry was, you guys. See, I have a lot more that I could fill out. Okay. Know your strategies. Write down your top 5 strategies for dealing with self-doubt, anxiety, or another challenging emotion. Name the emotion first and then the strategy. This was on March 18th, 2023, and the reason why this is the last page that I filled out is 100% because I know that this is the last day I completed 75 hard, and after that, like I said, I kind of threw my 75 hard routine out the window and like reverted back to my old life, so there's nothing left in here. I think I could pick back up, and maybe we could like, you know, I could bring you guys along and fill out some of these. If you're interested in that, let me know. If not, I don't want to bore you. So I wrote here, anxiety. Play mind games or puzzles to keep my mind active and working hard to distract from that feeling. Go to the gym, exercise, take a walk, or run. Take deep breaths / breathing exercises. Play with my hair, chew gum, fidget spinner, anything that uses my touch sense. Okay. There's 2 other things here, but this is all true for me. When I have anxiety, what calms me down is if I can like play a game or do a puzzle, like if I'm doing a crossword puzzle or Sudoku, or like any games on the phone that like I actually have to think about to keep my mind active. That distracts from the feeling that I'm having, and it 100% helps. I don't exercise now, and I should, and I think that will help my anxiety too. And it's interesting that I use the touch sense, because that is so true. When I'm anxious, like if I'm able to like twirl my hair or like fidget with my earring or like play with a piece of fabric, any one of those things that like I can touch it like grounds me and it makes me less nervous. It's kind of how I like, I don't know. I don't know, it just helps me. Sadness, I said cry it out, confide in Harry, or belt sad songs in the car. I think the third option is the best. Self-doubt, push myself to extents farther than I'm comfortable with. Confide in Harry. He gives me lots of compliments and reassurance. I need more coping strategies for self-doubt. It affects me every day. Same for my anxiety. I'm lucky to say that I don't feel that same way anymore. I definitely obviously can feel doubt in some situations, but my like mental health has definitely improved over the last year, with the exception of my job and the crap that comes with that. But overall, like, I was in a really bad, terrible place not long ago, and then 2024 like changed the game for me, and I like pulled myself out of a depression, and it was amazing feeling. So those are just some of those pages. There's probably some in here that are like really juicy, that like have to do with me and my friends, and maybe like my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. Like there's a lot in here. This is the last one I'm gonna read. This is from almost 3 years ago, January 18th, 2022. Letter to teenage you. Write a letter to your teenage self. Consider what helpful advice and insights you can offer. Like I said, this is the last one I'm going to read. But I just think this one is an interesting one to leave off on. Wow, I don't really know where to start. However, I would definitely say to push life's boundaries and to be open to change instead of being scared of it. Some of the best people, experiences, and memories will come out of making that big leap you're thinking about. I would also tell myself to continue being who I am and not let anyone dim your light, especially not Ethan. You will be loyal to every end, but when you know it's the right time to let go, you will. Do not doubt yourself with that. The person you are meant for is so much better for you, and making that decision for yourself will have been so worth it. With that, try not to be so hard on yourself. You are and always will be an amazing person. Before your mental health gets too tasking, take steps to actively provide care for yourself. You are important, achieved, and I love you. That was so sweet. And that was me almost 3 years ago saying this. I do agree with that. I think that is a nice letter, and I would be interested to write another one, like write something like that to even my previous, like to write to that person who I was at that point, because I was not the same person that I am now, and that's a fact. So there is definitely more. I mean, there's a lot of different pages to this. This ends right, so all of these pages have stuff on it. All of these pages do not. Like I said, let me know, because I will go through these with you and we can like write prompts together, and you'll learn a lot about me, like this, because it's like this personal stuff. And it would be, writing, so I think that would be a good trigger, but let me know what you think, and feel free to comment on my different journal entries that I have going on there. I think it's very interesting about my old self. Just seeing this, it's crazy, because it reminds me of a time where I was not who I am right now. And we all have those times. We all go through life and feel different things and grow and become different people. So thank you so much for watching. This is Untouched ASMR. Once again, I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, morning, afternoon, whatever time of day you're watching this. Bye.